The battles that count aren't the ones for gold medals. The struggles within yourself, the invisible battles inside all of us, that's where it's at. Jesse Owens. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of PositiviTea, the podcast where we bring you good vibes by the spoonful. And I am one of your co-hosts, Miss Mary Lou Ryan. Thank you so much for being great about the holiday break that Jacob and I took. We wanted to spend time with our families, and it was really wonderful. And I definitely feel like my well has been filled a bit. For those of you, well, I'm sure you've noticed if you're listening, but also if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, you probably noticed that I am alone today. We were so excited to record a podcast for you for this week, and we had it all scheduled out and planned and all the stuff. And then, you know what? Sometimes life just happens and you can't prepare for some things. Everything should be okay. Jacob should be fine. We've just had a very unexpected, emotionally turbulent week, and he's resting now, but he should hopefully be back soon. I'm just, I'm sitting on the floor in my living room in front of my tea shelf with one light, no fancy sets, got my glasses on. I really wanted to be here this week because, you know me, I have a tendency to put forth things into the world that I am craving to see within it. And this is definitely one of those times. I wish I had a PositiviTea podcast to listen to this week. So here I am. And we're doing the thing. And I thought today would be a little different. I'm going to tentatively call this a Minisode because I don't think I'm going to be talking for a half an hour. Although maybe, you never know, I guess. It is what it is. I thought that I would share with you a gratitude exercise that I like to do when I feel overwhelmed or when I just want to ground myself, if I'm feeling detached or any sort of things. I find that it helps a lot. Basically, what it is you just name 3 things that you're thankful for. Now, those of you who have watched the Miss Mary Lou channel on YouTube for a long time, I've been talking about this for years. Nothing new, but ever valuable, I have found. It can be anything you want, big or small. The only caveat that Jacob and I put on it for ourselves is only one of them can be food, because then otherwise it's just going to be I'm thankful for avocados and tomatoes and that really good brunch I had last week. So I thought I would practice it today because, this is a positive place. It's been a tough week, but I think it's good to process things and work your way through them. I don't like to deny what I'm going through, but I do like to provide myself with comfort. So let's see. What are 3 things I'm thankful for? And please feel free to do this at home as well. And I would love it if you sent me some things that you're thankful for. Maybe that'll be our good news for next week. Let's see. I'm thankful that I have working heat in my house. I know I live in Los Angeles where it's definitely not as cold as other places, but I have several chronic conditions, from migraines to genetic mutations that make cold really difficult for me in a lot of ways. And I'm so thankful that the heat in my house works really well, and my house is so small that I can afford to heat it. So, whoa, am I thankful for that. Let's see, my number 2, I'm going to say, okay, I know this is very me. I'm going to say my number 2 is tea. Not just because, for obvious reasons, because I like it and it's a huge part of my life and it got me into this whole YouTube podcasting adventure in the first place and the memories associated it. But tea is something that's consistent. Even if I'm in a strange place where I don't really know where I'm going, I can ask, hey, do you know where I can grab a cup of tea? And I can go and it's warm and I know how to brew it the way that I like it. And it's really nice to find those little moments of comfort, regardless of where you are. I didn't have time to grab my travel tea kit, but I do have one of those. And if you don't have one, whether it's tea or coffee or whatever, I highly recommend it, because if you're traveling or you're wherever you are, it's so descriptive today, Mary, it's nice to have something to ground you, and it's kind of like tea's kind of a ritual. It's very meditative in and of itself. So I'm thankful for tea. And then number 3. Let's pick something that's, well, tea seems kind of like a small thing. I really enjoy the little things. Oh, I know. I got a good third one for you. I am so thankful that I have 2, not 1, but 2 butterbeer water glasses in my house from Harry Potter World, and because they make me so happy. Most of the time you can't see it, but I'll like hide my water off screen, and it's usually a butterbeer glass. And now we have 2 of them, so Jacob and I can drink out of them at the same time. And, you know, I'm a huge nerd. Harry Potter means so much to me. And I get so much joy out of a plastic cup. It's kind of like borderline ridiculous, but I fluff and love it. I love it so much. So there we go. 3 things I'm thankful for: the heat in my house, for tea, and for the 2 butterbeer glasses I have waiting for me in my pantry to use for tomorrow. Community news. It's not as much fun without Jacob, but I know he's listening in the next room over there and resting, so he's here in spirit. I thought it would be super fun this week. I had reached out because I thought maybe I would be doing a podcast over the holidays, and our schedules were just insane and it didn't work out. However, I have a landslide of really wonderful things that people sent in over the holidays, and I thought it would be awesome to finish up the episode with just like a landslide of good community news from all of you. I'm just gonna like read all of them, because hearing about good things happening in all of your lives, dear listeners, man, do they bring a smile to my freaking face. So I was like, whoa, this would be the best segment. And maybe like periodically I'll do these like avalanches of community news. I'm excited. All right. So we're just starting from the top. So Adina Purple said, she just started opera rehearsals and I'm so happy to be diving into the art form that I love. Adina, that's incredible. Like, to be actually doing what you've dreamed of doing. And I know Adina, and you've studied so hard and you've worked so hard and you're so fluff and talented. And I'm excited for the things that you're going to be doing in the future. You're a rock star. From Beverly Butterfly XX, she said, I got through my first Christmas since my grandmother passed away, and I'm so proud of myself. Beverly, I understand, or I can empathize with how hard that can be to have a loved one that's so prominent around a certain time of year, especially, and then having to go through that time of year without them. But you did it. You did it. You're still here. You're still a living, breathing, magnificent human, and I'm so proud of you. All righty, let's see. Next from Jess Sabatini. All of these are on Instagram, by the way. We will switch to Facebook in a minute. She said her boyfriend and her are going to be in Big Bear for their 7-year anniversary. That's really wonderful. For those of you that don't know, Big Bear is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from LA, and it's like a little winter wonderland on top of a mountain. And what a wonderful, thoughtful present to do together for your anniversary, which, by the way, I know Jess, her anniversary is on New Year's at midnight, so like A+. So like, how special was that? And I'm so excited for you that you got to do something freaking awesome with the someone who is freaking awesome in your life. All right. So I think that's from Instagram, and I got a lot on Facebook. So here we go. Anne Ryan, I am going to the TCM Film Festival. So this is my aunt, and she's a huge classic movie fan enthusiast. She and I are alike in so many ways. I have mentioned her on the podcast before, and she gets to come to LA and meet some of her favorite people ever and watch classic movies and walk the red carpet, and I think that's freaking awesome. All right. Ruby Chang said it was their 1-year anniversary and they're still married and happy. So this was over the holidays. Ruby, you're awesome. I love you and your husband. You guys are so great. And I'm so glad that you are still married and happy after a whole year. This is from my dad, actually. My parents went to go visit my mother's dad in the States, and it was really fun. I got to meet up with them as well for a few days, and it was certainly a huge highlight of the season to have the whole family back together. So, yes, Dad, that is a highlight. Alrighty, moving on to Ellen Schaefer. Spent Christmas in San Diego as she's allergic to evergreens indoors. They decorated a prickly pear cactus that will be landed outdoors after. And she had a great visit with her family. That's amazing. So, way to take something like you're allergic to evergreens indoors, freaking decorate a cactus in Southern California with your family. Amazing. From Rachel Hilberg, my mom surprised us by flying out from Oregon this holiday, and I got a lot of noir and Sherlock Holmes themed gifts for Christmas. Rachel, you are my kind of girl. Of course. I mean, how wonderful and thoughtful of your mother to fly out and surprise you for the holidays, because that's really special. And Oregon, it's not like the farthest, but it's not close, certainly. So it's still a trip. So I'm so happy you got to spend that with more family than you were expecting. And you have excellent taste. You enjoy all of those Sherlock Holmes and noir themed pieces, and I'm gonna want to see pictures of them on Instagram. Okay. And then our last one for today from the Miss Mary Lou page from Chris Jardin. My family had a happy Christmas together and we played several games, which that's one of my favorite parts about board games, and I'm sure that you would agree with me, is that it brings people together. And we're in such a board game renaissance right now. You can customize your experience with your loved ones. Everyone is a little too competitive. Cool. Play a cooperative board game. You want something light and cute? We got you. Sushi Go. You want something super brainy and complex, but that still won't have you yelling at each other? Bam. Pandemic. We got you. So I think that's really wonderful that when you're together with your family, you're playing games, you're interacting, you're really just enjoying your time together, right? Because that's the beauty of freaking board games, is it's one of my favorite ways to spend time with people that I think are super awesome, right? So that was my super tidal wave of community news for you. I feel better already, for sure. I would love to hear some things you're thankful for this week. Of course, you can find me at Miss Mary Lou with the underscores on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Yeah, it would really make my day. And I'm happy to be here with you in your earbuds or on your computer, or I actually don't really know where you guys listen, if it's like a phone or a TV thing, but hey, wherever you're at, I'm glad you're here. And I'm most thankful that, we're all in this together. And I just feel this kind of crazy connection with the podcast listeners, and you're really special, Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. You're a special human, and I think you're rad, okay? My foot is falling asleep because, again, I just propped my camera on a table and I'm sitting on the floor. So I am going to wrap it up here. So I hope you enjoyed this Minisode. Hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be back to our regular podcast at our regular scheduled time and all the things, because we both really enjoyed doing this so much. So thanks for being a part of it. Yalla wizards, which for those of you that know, that is one of the highest compliments that I can give. All right, friends. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you for the podcast next Thursday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week on the PositiviTea podcast. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Mary Lou, at PositiviTea, TEA podcast at gmail.com. And we are also on YouTube at the Miss Mary Lou YouTube channel. Wherever you are listening to us, please give us a like, a follow, a share, and leave a nice review. We would appreciate a little bit of positivity in our lives. The logo design is by Hilda Meyer Post. The music is by my co-host, Jacob Kahn. I am your co-host, Miss Mary Lou Ryan, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Thursday.